We all know the missionaries and the people with great testimonies, how they came out of addiction and into God's glory, how His love is so limitless. But this one isn't infamous. You see, this one is my story. I grew up in church just like a lot of you. I knew when to raise my hands and stand up. My family even had their own pew. Life was good and nothing was new. It was the same old, until suddenly I grew. No longer a young girl, I started finding out the truth. Life isn't always fair and people aren't always good. But I stuck with what I knew. That was God, and prayer always worked, no matter what I was going through. Years passed and time flew by. Middle school came along and suddenly life wasn't easy as pie. There was heartaches and heartbreaks and friends who were faking lies. Mirrors became my enemy. Friendships were tossed out to sea. Everyone was hungry and it seemed like it was just on me they'd feed. My own mind was no longer friendly. I couldn't find security. All I saw were mistakes and mishaps. I began drowning in insecurities. Growing so distant from God, I could not find the foundation I once stood on. My whole world was shaking, but my outside stayed the same. I was no longer the same person, but I still had my same name, put smiles on for the show. But once the curtain closed, I was breaking down and crying out, and no one would ever know. Now I find myself in different crowds with different people I hang around. Everything is changing and I can't put my feet back on the ground. My life has been turned upside down. My eyes have lost their sight. And now this road that I've been walking has turned from paradise to the devil's playground. It's like I'm playing Russian roulette. Every day I pull the trigger and still there is no bullet. I'm so lost and terrified, I just don't get it. I would love to tell everyone, but I'm scared they'd forget the young girl I once was and not the one I've become. I'm ashamed, but I can't change because I don't know how to tell them. This whole church thing is a joke. You're just wearing your church clothes. You say you love God, but you judge the maple tree because it ain't oak. Really, it's getting old. It's time to face the facts and know that you aren't being a Christian. You're just doing what you're told. It's time for Christians to stop playing. Start practicing what you're saying, because all you're doing is hating, and all that'll do is send everyone to Satan. Your life's supposed to be focused on saving, but all you do is keep complaining. Why do they act like that? They are just insane. And maybe if you listened, instead of just quitting, you'd understand that there's more to our story than all our sins. We look at all the Christians, but nothing seems to be different. The only thing you do is go to church over the weekend, and God's not the one at fault. I honestly feel bad. He created you to love and care, and y'all just ignored that. You say His love is in you, but I wonder if that's true, because if it was, you wouldn't be acting like such a fool. And maybe I'm ridiculous, but if His love is limitless, then you should love a person like me too.